Yo, what up? This is Kenny Dykstra, and you're listening to In Your Head Online.
All right, we are back, and we're joined by Mike Mondo, also known as Mikey from the Spirit Squad. I want to welcome you to In Your Head.
What's going on, guys? How's everything going?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Oh, pretty good.
So much better than Mikey's here.
Oh, man. I was gonna let Barbie introduce Mikey. Do you want to give him, like, a new introduction?
I don't know. How do you begin? There's so many memories I have, and I'm not even being even a little bit sarcastic. I was just the biggest Spirit Squad fan. Every week I would come on the show and say, these guys rule. There's not a weak link in this team.
Well, that's good. There's many lovers and many haters out there, but I'm glad you're, that's definitely one of the true loyal fans out there. I really appreciate that, so thank you very much.
Now, is there any chance that we could see maybe a reuniting of the Spirit Squad at any point? Would you be for that?
Well, as of right now, I think that's going to be pretty tough, being, as of right now, I'm not with the company anymore. Hopefully we'll be back in the future, in the near future, hopefully. Mitch actually is not with the company either. I think, and Johnny Jeter actually would just recently parted ways with WWE. They came to a mutual agreement. I think the only guys right now is Kenny, who's he's on SmackDown, I believe, right now, and my roommate in Tampa, Nick Nemeth, he's actually set to be going on the road very shortly with WWE, the SmackDown brand. So I think WWE's got plans for both those guys right now. So probably to answer that question, I wouldn't see Spirit Squad reunion probably any time in the near future.
It was always said that you guys came up with, like, the gimmick yourself. Is that how it all came about?
Actually, no. That was actually a Vince McMahon idea. I remember he went to one of the road agents. I can't recall the name at the moment, but he actually he went to one of the road agents, and he's like, actually, I believe it was John Laurinaitis, the vice president of talent relations, and he's like, John, I want you to go out there and I want you to find me 5 male cheerleaders. We're going to do something professional wrestling that's never been done before. So that's what he did. He went out and he got 5 guys, and shortly thereafter we debuted on a segment of Monday Night Raw and took off from there.
What did you think of, like, when you heard the idea about, like, the Spirit Squad? Did you think it would take off, or did you want to do it? You didn't want to do it?
I was definitely down to do it, but I got to be honest, my first initial reaction when I heard that I was going to be a male cheerleader was, wow, okay, this is definitely going to be a challenge, I grew up playing football my entire life, so I didn't really have any cheerleading experience. But we took the gimmick and we embraced the gimmick, and we actually went out and got cheerleading lessons, and we enrolled in gymnastics schools, and a couple of them actually. So we actually, there's no way in hell I can never do a backflip my entire life. So it actually took a lot of practice and a lot of time. But eventually with enough practice, we actually became the characters, and it was a really cool thing, and it was a lot of fun, probably one of the most funnest times in my life. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't trade anything in that for the world. It was really, really cool.
We surprised, like, pretty much right away when you guys brought up, like, they really pushes, like, almost a main event thing? Or what you guys were in main events pretty early on. Yeah,
we're actually really lucky. They put us in a position, they put us in a spot that a lot of guys wish they can be in. And, I got to say I'm very lucky and very grateful for the opportunity that I was presented. And, I definitely didn't want to drop the ball, so I, made sure I, did everything I can to make the most of my opportunities. And, did I expect to get to the main event level that quick? No, I didn't. I thought it would take a lot of time, probably months and months. But, I think it was only like maybe 3 months while we were, right after we debuted, that we actually really got pushed. And, they gave us the tag team titles. And shortly thereafter, they had the reunited, that's a word, right? They reunited the Generation X, and we started working with Hunter and Sean, which was really, really cool, and, really took our game to the next level. So, we knew the eyes were on us, so we always give 110% every time we set foot in that ring, no matter where we were at, to do the best we can, for sure.
When you go from OVW to WWE and you're, you're in the ring working guys like Hunter and Shawn Michaels, do you really, find yourself improving, quickly, because you're working with guys that are so good?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, getting in the ring with guys like Hunter and Sean is just the knowledge of experience that the two of those guys have between the both of them, and they always say, whenever you get in the ring, you always want to get in the ring with somebody better than you. Well, obviously, they were definitely better than us, and they definitely really, took us under their wing and really brought our game to the next level, like I mentioned earlier, and there's a lot of great talent in OVW, really, really a lot of great talent in OVW. I think OVW is a phenomenal place, and I recommend anybody that wants to ever become a professional wrestler to, do what I did, pack up your bags and move down to Louisville, Kentucky. That's just a great place to start and a great place to, have a career.
Mm-hmm.
But the next step to WWE was just another chapter of my life. And when I got there, I was definitely more than ready and over prepared to go. And I look forward to working with such great talent such as Kane and the Big Show and Hunter and Sean, and they really definitely taught us a lot. Definitely taught us a thing or two, as they say.
Right. I got a couple callers here. We got Kicks on the line.
Hi, how you doing, Mikey?
Hey there, what's going on, buddy? How's everything? All right?
Oh, everything's great. I got a couple questions. My first question was wanted to ask was everybody's dream is in wrestling is to be a part of WrestleMania, and you guys were at WrestleMania 22. I mean, was that always a big dream of yours? Ever since you were little or so?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, absolutely. I mean, that whole WrestleMania weekend was something special to me. It just it felt like a dream, so to speak. And just knowing that WrestleMania was only a couple days coming up was just like unbelievable, and really words can't explain the feeling it is to be a part of WrestleMania. I mean, that's the biggest show in the world, the granddaddy of them all, as they say, and just being a part of the whole WrestleMania weekend and the Hall of Fame ceremony was really something special, and just like I said, I had a different aura, a different feel the whole weekend, and it felt really, really good. And I went back to my hotel room, and I just would say to myself, everything that I put into professional wrestling, it's all worth it just for this moment that I'm feeling right now. And when WrestleMania, the actual day came, it was, we did a run-in on one of the biggest matches. It was Shawn Michaels versus Vince McMahon, and just to be a part of that match was just it's unbelievable. It was a really, really cool moment, and definitely an experience I'll cherish and remember for the rest of my life for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Was wrestling something it was always like your goal to become a wrestler?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Like, how long did you want to be a wrestler for? Was it something what you grew up wanting to do?
Yeah, I've been a wrestling fan since I was 4 years old, and I always knew I wanted to get into professional wrestling. The only problem was I didn't know when I wanted to get into it, because I'm not going to lie, my first dream was to become a professional football player.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell that long story in a nutshell real quick. I was going to school, going to college, and I wanted to play football. Like I said, I always wanted to be a wrestler. I didn't know when, but at the time, my parents always told me, and even the wrestlers that I've idolized in the past, go get a college education. So that's what I did. I went to school, and I put in 2 years at Suffolk Community College. The only deal with going to Suffolk Community College in Long Island, New York, was they didn't have a football team. And I couldn't get accepted into any schools because my SAT scores were kind of low, and I wasn't eligible to get in. So I did my time at Suffolk Community College for 2 years, and they said, well, we can't transfer you. You have to play ball because you're still this short, that short. I'm like, so now I'm kind of like getting a little frustrated. I got to put another semester. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'll do it. But I'm not going to sit back and kill another year or kill more time. I'm going to go after one of my dreams. This might be the right time for me to get into wrestling. It's something I've always wanted to do. It's something I always loved, something I've always watched when I was a kid growing up, and something I've always dreamed of. So I went to school, and I enrolled into professional wrestling school that's run by John Curse and Mikey Whipwreck at the time, NYWC, New York Wrestling Connection. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it or not. So I was going to school, and I was going to school, and I was wrestling at the same time, and that's when opportunity started to come about with wrestling. And I figured this might be God's way of telling me that this is the direction that He wants to take me in my life right now, and because everything seems to be working out. I got into a trial camp at Ohio Valley Wrestling for a week. I went down there. Succeeded because I got the call back not too much later from Jim Cornette saying he wanted me to come down and work for him full time. So I finished out my semester in school, and I think I'm now to this day like 3 credits short of graduating from my associate's degree. So that's how pretty much my story in a nutshell. And I packed up my bags, moved down to Louisville, Kentucky, and pursued a full-time wrestling career.
Did you have anything else, Kicks?
Yeah, just one last thing to Mikey. I wanted to ask, Mike, was within your career in like OVW and the WWE, who are some of the most helpful veterans? I heard Tommy Dreamer was very helpful in OVW, and Shawn Michaels, I guess, in WWE.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of during my time up there, everyone was really, really helpful and really really cool about pulling you aside and critiquing your matches when you're done working. But some of the guys that stick out in mind to me, exactly like you said, one of them was Tommy Dreamer. He's actually a really good friend of mine. I've nothing but the most respect for Tommy Dreamer. One of the few guys responsible for getting me my job with WWE, as he was the head of developmental at the time, and he really went to bat for me hardcore once he got into that position. So, I owe a big thank you to Tommy Dreamer. Other guys that were really helpful and inspiring while I was up there were, again, Hunter and Sean, as they were, the veterans and leaders of the Raw locker room at the time, and still are to this day. But while I was up there, they were the 2 main guys that a lot of guys went to for help and critique and stuff. So they were really, really good, really definitely well respected. I got to say that definitely the agents, Arn Anderson, definitely one guy that sticks out in my mind. He's a very straight up guy, or a shooter, so to speak. He tells you when you do good and tells you when you do bad. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, and definitely tells you the way things are. So, everyone, but I can't say a bad word about anybody. Everyone was really cool and really helpful. But to me, those guys are the ones that stick out in my mind right now.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for calling in, Kicks.
All right, thank you. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks, man.
Take care, bro.
We got El Curryman fan. He's calling in from Portugal.
Good evening.
All right.
Good evening. Yes,
what's going on, man?
Mexico. Doing fine. Exactly, up in your head. And I have actually 3 quick questions to ask you.
3?
I've been
3. All right.
Like pinfall.
I got an answer, man. What's going on?
Yeah. I have 3 questions for you. Firstly, during your career in the Indies, you competed with guys like Whipwreck, Matt Stryker, Geraldine, Joey Matthews, and other guys as well. From this list of the guys that I've just gave you, would you say that helped you more, give you more advices, somebody that you would say that you took some inspiration from?
I would say probably, all 3 of those guys you mentioned are really great wrestlers, and definitely was a great learning experience, being in the ring with them, because no matter who you get in the ring with, whether it's anybody, you always come out of the ring learning something. Ric Flair is still learning to this day, as he says, and if Ric Flair is still learning, you better believe I'm still learning. But I guess I gotta go with Mikey Whipwreck. Mikey Whipwreck, he's got been in the wrestling business for many, many years, has a lot of experience, has wrestled for numerous organizations around the world, including WWE, ECW, WCW. So, just got to wrestle with him was definitely a privilege of mine, and I definitely hope to step in the ring with him once again. And it was definitely it was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
What was your second question there?
My second question, the 2 count. You met Ric Flair, obviously, to work with him. How did you react when you first met him?
First time I ever met Ric Flair, always really nice guy, really great guy, and I actually got to experience, his last match live at WrestleMania 24, so that was definitely a really cool experience and memorable one for sure. But oh, just like anything else, just like meeting anybody, he's very professional, went out of his way to help you if you needed it, and actually had the pleasure of working with Rick many times on house shows and tag matches, and even did a singles match with him on Monday Night Raw, and we had a hell of a match, and definitely some good times, and definitely matches I'll never forget. It was nothing but good things to say about Rick, very stand-up, professional guy, and it was definitely really cool seeing him and getting to know him, and hopefully I can see him again more down the road.
Mm-hmm. Are you aware he just recently left WWE?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard he recently just cut ties, and he's actually available doing independent bookings and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
So that's good. You know, I mean, that's the choice he chooses. You know, and I'm sure he made the right one and a good one, and you know, best of luck to him for sure.
What was your third question there?
The pinfall is that you have recently you're no longer with the WWE. I think so. If you could look back on the stuff that you did, and if you could have the power to change something and have a feud with this guy and this guy, like, you know, if you could change something in your career during the WWE, what would that be? What would you, if you had that power, what would you change? What would you have done differently?
What would I have done differently? Probably I wish I would have got to spend more time with the fans, actually, to be honest with you. You know, we were always busy, always on the go while we were on the road, you know, going from town to town, you know, driving from place to place and everything, and doing autograph sessions and appearances here and there, getting to the building, getting out late, and driving to the next town again. So we were always on the go. But if I could have done something differently, I really wish I would have got to know the fans more, and actually the fans to this day can keep in touch with me through my MySpace at www.myspace.com/Mikey Mondo. And I get a lot of emails, but I definitely get back to each and every one of them. You know, it may take me a little bit of time, but I definitely do my best to get back to each and every one. But we've been all over the world, and we had such a great time going to England, France, Germany, and the list goes on, and met a lot of really cool people. So I wish I got to hang out and talk and and do more of that thing. So if I could have done something differently, I probably would have done that.
Yeah. We'll have the link right up on the website too for everybody who wants to add Mikey as a friend there on the MySpace.
Sounds good to me, man. Sounds good.
Thanks for calling in, Jow or El Curry Man Fan.
Thank you.
Barb, you got a question?
Absolutely. I noticed that every single one of the Spirit Squad had like a different thing. You vogued pretty much non-stop. Is that something that came from you, or was that something that was given to you, or you vogued pretty much non-stop? The hand signals and the Madonna
the hand signals?
Yeah, that kind of thing. I don't know the technical term, but is that something that you came up with yourself?
No, actually, I was just, at the time, we had five guys that all look alike. We're all very athletic. Probably the one guy that stood out to many people was Kenny, because, he had the headband and he was the biggest guy of the two. And, so here we are, us four. We're trying to think of just different things to make it individualize us, so to speak. So, I used to come out with the air horn and, I tried to, make myself a little bit different by doing that, and I had my little hand signals that I do with my head, or, I don't know what it's called, or I bust out the YMCA every now and then, but, so that's all really that was just, do things to make us a little bit different. Johnny wore the hat, so that tried to make him, stand out a little bit. Mitch had the megaphone, so, but that was pretty much all that was, but, it's actually an interesting question.
We got Brian Jones here on the line.
Oh, hi. I had a question. With your music, the theme music for the Spirit Squad, now, when I was listening to it when you were on TV, was that actually the fight songs in Notre Dame? Because I listened to it, it sounds strangely familiar. I didn't know if that was inspired by it, or is this just a coincidence?
Yeah, that's just a total coincidence. In fact, I think the fight song of Notre Dame is actually copywritten, so I don't think WWE would be able to use that. All the music in WWE is all made by a specific person, so actually it's all owned and copywritten by WWE. So yeah, that was how music actually they came up with and invented.
Okay, because I was listening to it, you guys are wearing Michigan State colors, but you got Notre Dame's music, and I found that a little bit weird, but now that you find out it was totally just coincidental, that explains a lot, but thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
Anytime, man.
Oh, thanks.
Looking back, do you think it was ever a mistake to have, five guys in the group? Because, after a while, it ended up being, five guys on two, and it might have kind of hurt, if five guys are losing to two people.
Actually, no. I thought it was actually pretty unique and something different at the time. You know, there was really never there weren't any factions in WWE at the time while we were up there on the Raw side anyway. You know, so it actually was something that made us different. You know, I mean, at times, of course, it gets a little crowded in there with 5 guys in the ring, but you know, we had like I said, we had a lot of cool house show matches. You know, 4-on-2, 5-on-2, and you know, we always. There was always a lot going on, so to speak. You know, there was actually a lot of different things we can do, and it just, I thought, you know, give us an opportunity to stand out and do something different, and you know, just see what happens. Like whatever's going to happen in the future, we can just do whatever, you know.
Did you ever want to like incorporate the trampoline more often? Because I always got a kick out of the trampoline bulldog and whatnot.
Absolutely. I personally definitely wanted to incorporate the trampoline. I love the trampoline, actually. I've always wanted to do something on it every match. But, you know, sometimes it was there, sometimes it wasn't. But we always, you know, we used it in our entrance and stuff, like jumping over the top rope with it. And I actually did a bulldog. I jumped on the trampoline one time during a match with, I believe it was...
the Highlanders.
It was the Highlanders, right? Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Well, I remember doing it to Snitsky on Raw, so... I remember come darting down the ramp full speed, jumping on the trampoline over the top rope and giving him a really nice bulldog. And again, like when would you ever see that on television? You know, so it was cool though. It was definitely wish we could incorporate the trampoline more though. It was fun. Mm-hmm. Actually, that was an idea actually created by Dean Malenko. So I got to give him credit for that and thank him for that one. Yeah. That was Dean Malenko idea, and you know he pulled us aside at a house show and he's like, I think you guys need a trampoline. I think they'll really, I think that will go really good with your character and your gimmick and really, you know, definitely make you guys stand out, make you guys different. And he was 100% right, and I'm glad he gave us the idea.
I just picture Malenko is wanting to use a trampoline, and he's just like,
the Iceman.
It's not fitting.
Yeah. Well, Dean Malenko is just, wealth of knowledge. He actually came up with Ray's entrance, too, where he told us later on where, you know, remember Ray used to come from underneath and jump up and onto the stage or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. That was also Dean's idea, too. It was pretty cool.
We got Andre on the line.
Yeah, my question, I got 2 questions. My first one, what was it like working with DS? And my second one was, did you thought it was a mistake breaking you up too early?
Working with, like I mentioned earlier, working with DX was awesome. It brought our game to another level. Both of them taught us a whole lot, inside and outside of the ring, and really took us under their wing and made us really best wrestlers we can be. You know, they were awesome to work with and a lot of fun too. As far as breaking up with the Spirit Squad, did it come too early? There was a lot of talk, you know, well, we're going to break them up, we're not going to break them up, we're going to break them up, we're not, you know, it was on and on, going on for a couple months prior to our breakup. But do I think it still have more longevity? Yeah, I do. I personally do. But that goes for anything. You know, you could always make things and stretch things out. But you know, it was a business decision that they made at the time, and you know, I don't run the company, so you know, I just gotta take the decision and make the most of it, and you know, take it to the next step. That's all you can do. But yeah, I do. I think it had more longevity for sure.
Mm-hmm. Just let everybody know out there if you want to book Mikey for your event, for your wrestling event, or whatever you got going on. You email him at MikeyMondoBookings@hotmail.com, and again, we'll have that right up on the website over at InYourHeadOnline.com.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
I
know the fans out there too. The fans out there can, if you're just tuning in, can listen. Check out my MySpace at myspace.com/Mikey Mondo as well.
Excellent. And actually, when we called you today, you're actually in California, I believe.
Yes, I am. I'm actually I'm in California for the week till this Saturday. I'm actually doing the WWE Legends video game. It's a lot of fun. I get to do all the moves and the characteristics of all the wrestlers I've watched growing up, and definitely a lot of fun. And we've put in many hours a day, about 9 hours a day, so it's definitely long days, but they go by quick because, you know, it's doing stuff that we love to do, so it's a lot of fun. It's cool.
Is that why part of the reason why you got doing it, because you can mimic some of the guys you grew up watching?
Yeah, I guess definitely a good talent of mine. I consider anyway. I can imitate a lot of people, so Yeah, it all started back. This is actually my 16th or maybe 17th time out here. They call me a mocap veteran, so I got probably did more shoots than anybody, but it's really cool. It's a lot of fun, and I'm actually out here with Cassidy Riley, Chase Stevens, and David Young. If you guys ever heard of them or know them.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, yeah. They've been wrestling a long time. They're really good guys, good friends. Really pleasure getting to know them. And I knew Cassidy a lot from OVW, but it was cool meeting Chase and Dave. They're really good guys, and definitely glad I got to meet them and hang out with them.
Yeah, you could tell them they could come on the show if they want anytime.
Okay, for sure. I'll definitely let them know.
All right. Did you have another question, Barb?
Absolutely. There was one thing I noticed watching the Spirit Squad in OVW going to the WWE. In OVW, you all had a more distinct personality. Was there one thing behind that? Was there anybody that in OVW that pushed you in one direction, or were you just more? Was there more freedom in OVW to do your own thing?
Well, actually, I've had a couple personalities while I was in OVW. I was when I first jumped into OVW, I was the Giant Killer Mike Mondo, who's actually a credit Jim Cornette. He actually gave me that character and that gimmick, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, pretty much overall, we pretty much had the freedom to do what we want, just as long as it made sense at the time and it was approved. You know, we always had to get stuff approved, and they wanted you to go out there and be yourself, turned up times 10, and just they never wanted you to do something you were uncomfortable doing or anything like that. So yeah, I'd say it was pretty free to do like what you wanted to do, and guys would pitch ideas all the time and give them to Danny Davis. Al Snow was actually one of the head trainers down there at the time, and definitely taught us a lot. He was really cool and really good guy. So yeah, it was pretty free, pretty easy going down there for sure. A lot of fun.
When we had Al Snow on the first time, he really he put you over pretty big. What do you like memories work with Al Snow? Yeah. I think I even emailed you on your MySpace at the time.
Oh, right on. Yeah, my memories of Al. He's a really good guy, man. Really a phenomenal trainer. Definitely taught me stuff about the business that I never knew before. Good guy. He actually was the one guy taught me how to ride a motorcycle. So I remember I told him one day I want to get a Harley, and he actually, took the time out of his busy schedule and taught me how to ride a bike. So, Al really, no matter what time it was, what day it was, he'd always stay until the last person left the school and make sure he spent, a considerable amount of time with each person, answer all their questions, never. He took his job very seriously, and he was just a really good guy and a great trainer, and hopefully see him more down the road for sure.
Yeah. Intro, do you have a question from the message board?
Yes, actually I do. AFK from our message board. He wants to know, is it hard to lift the Big Show with 4 guys helping you?
Yeah, absolutely. Big Show's a ton for sure. It's like picking up a truck. Yeah, it was. I watched it back. Well, while we gave Big Show the high spirits, as we called it, prior to winning the tag team titles. My first thought was, wow, we didn't get him up at all. But I went home, I watched the tape, and I was like, okay, maybe the TV justified it a little bit. It was, because there's no takes on Raw, second takes on Raw. You only get one take, and
right.
So I was like, oh man, I hope it came out good. But it turned out it came out good. But yeah, to answer your question, absolutely, it was definitely really tough to lift him up. Another guy that was really tough to lift up was Viscera. He was another guy. We had to lift him up a couple times on house show, and it was just like, oh man, you need a weight belt sometimes.
Was it hard, picking up a finisher that involved everybody?
Yeah, it was actually. Kenny actually was the one that came up with our finisher, and we all thought that was it's actually pretty cool, something different, and it's funny, it's such a different feel when you do it to a guy like Big Show and you do it to Shawn Michaels, it's like sometimes you use too much strength and he's right. Going 10 feet up high in the air. But no, it was definitely it took us a little while to come up with a finisher that involved all of us, but eventually we figured it out, and I definitely think it was something cool, and the fans will definitely remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like when you're throwing around a regular football, then you start throwing the Nerf around. It's so much lighter. It's kind of the same.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else from the message board, Inchman?
Yeah, we have another question here. This person wants to know, do you think the WWE made the right choice in switching from OVW to FCW?
Do I think they made the right choice? I don't know if they made the right choice or not, but I definitely do wish they would have kept OVW around because, I spent 4.5 years in OVW before I was brought up to WWE, so a lot of my knowledge and a lot of my wrestling that I've learned was from OVW. I also believe that, the more territories, the better, and at one time I believed they were going to they were going to get more territories, and I think they were going to open one up in New York and one in Connecticut, but I guess that didn't happen. But, I think it's a really great thing that they opened up FCW as well. I mean, you got head trainers down there, Steve Kern and Dr. Tom Pritchard, as well as Billy Kidman, and, there's a wealth of knowledge between the three of those guys, and they're just all three of them are really good people, and, guys that I'm really glad I went down to FCW too, just to, learn something different, and they definitely taught me a lot. I think FCW is a great place. They got a lot of great guys, great atmosphere down there. Mm-hmm. Everyone's hungry, ready to go. So, if I was running the promotion, that's what I would have done. I probably wouldn't have separated my ties with OVW, but I definitely would have opened up FCW as well because they're just both great places to work, and you can learn a lot from everybody that's running the places.
When Snitsky was brought up as as Gene Snitsky, was there ever any talks for you to come up with him?
Nope, there wasn't, no thoughts. Maybe for a second that entered my mind when he first got brought up was, maybe this might be my break, because he was doing the whole little brother gimmick with me. He was my little brother, and he was named Mean Gene Mondo at the time at OVW. And, no, there was definitely a lot of fun, good times, but no, I don't think they had any plans of bringing me up with them at all, no.
Mm-hmm. Was there ever any heat with anybody when they brought up the Spirit Squad and you guys had like a main event pushed so quickly? Was anyone mad about that?
No, I mean, you always got guys that are, everyone when you get up to WWE, your main goal is to be that guy. Mm-hmm. You want to be the champion. You want to be the number one guy. So, we had a lucky break, and we had the great opportunity of getting in that spot very quickly. So I'm sure guys, they look at it because everyone wants to be in that spot. That's where you want to be. But no, we never really had problems or any altercations or anything like that. It wasn't like that at all. So, we just kept our heads on straight and went out there and did our jobs and did the best we can do.
Mm-hmm. Was it an honor to have midgets parody you on TV?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I actually knew a couple of them too from the independent circuit, but that was definitely good television. I remember that episode very well.
I remember Barbie actually could tell which midget was supposed to be each guy.
I absolutely could.
Oh, yeah?
I could tell which was corresponding to which member of the Spirit Squad, and I posted it on the board.
Which one was me?
The one that
remember?
vogued. The one that vogued was probably you.
The one that did the little swim motion on the turnbuckle?
Yes. Oh,
yeah,
he was my
guy,
favorite, I think. I like the fat one. I like the fat one who didn't look like anybody. He didn't do anything like anybody, but he was there and he was trying his best. I like that guy too.
Yeah. They're all pretty good. They're pretty funny.
Did you have another question, Barb?
Absolutely. There's actually a request come in from the chat room from one of our fans called Buck, I used to email back and forth with Buck after Raw every week talking about what the Spirit Squad had been doing. He was another big fan of you guys. And I think, it's not just a request from him, but I think I'd let myself down if I didn't ask. Is there a possibility that we could get you to shout Mikey like you would in the Spirit Squad theme music just once?
Oh, yeah, no problem. I can do that for you. Would you like me to do that right now for you?
So we could save it for the liner. All right, you can do it.
What's that?
I was saying maybe we could save it for the liner. But
the liner sounds good. We'll do that. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds good. Then everyone will have to tune in next week to hear the debut of the liner. There we go.
There you go. Sounds good.
They're going to keep them coming back.
Problem.
All right. Intro, did you have another one?
Vocals, My vocals warmed up for that.
Did you have anything else on the board?
Piece of Dirt. He actually wants to know, have you ever wrestled Madman Pondo?
What an odd question.
No, but I heard about him, and I heard he's crazy. Is that true? I don't know. Like, didn't he take like a weed whacker or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard he's into that stuff. I don't know. No, I never met Madman Mondo, but I heard about him. I definitely heard about him.
Pondo, actually.
Pondo, yeah. I might have mispronounced.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
If it's true that he does all that stuff, man, I hope God's with him, man. That's pretty intense stuff that he does.
Would you be interested ever doing any kind of matches like that?
It's not really my style, really. I'm not really. I mean, if it calls to do a hardcore match, I'll do it if it's right, you know. But I prefer, you know, just going out there and just doing my thing and do what I've always done to get me to where I was, you know, where I was and everything.
Yeah.
So I definitely like going out there, and I'm more of a fan of the family-oriented shows, you know, and you know, and obviously fan of WWE and stuff. And you know, I like to keep my styles around that kind of atmosphere.
Any chance we'll ever see you pop up in TNA?
Well, you never say never. You know, that's like a lot of questions I've been asked as of lately. And you know, if the right opportunity arises and everything's right, you know, between both parties and everything like that, I wouldn't mind working for TNA at all. Actually, but I think like a lot of former guys from WWE now work in TNA, and they have a lot of great talent there. And I'd love the opportunity to work with a lot of those guys there. So I think it'll be definitely a new chapter in my life and be something pretty cool. So definitely maybe something I might look into in the near future for sure. Never know.
Have you ever worked in a six-sided ring?
I never have. I never have actually. You know, I know it came out not too long ago. They used to have a traditional four-side, but I know that they busted out the six-side, and to me, my first impression was like, it just looks very confusing to work in it, you know. But I was talking with, actually, one of the things I was talking with Chase, because he used to work in TNA. He was part of the Naturals, and you know, I asked him, "It's hard to work, you know? I never worked in a six-sided ring before." And he says, "No, you know, you adjust to it pretty quickly, just like anything else, you know." But so it'd actually be pretty cool. It's something different, you know, and it's something TNA brings something different to the wrestling business.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there's any other promotion out there that has a six-sided ring. So whatever you can do to make yourself different, you know, it's definitely a good way to go.
Well, we've had some of the people on, like a lot of them say for the smaller guys it's better, and then like when we had Billy Gunn on Kip James, he was saying it was hard for him for the big guys because it's actually a smaller ring, and he can kind of like get from one side to the other in like in 2 steps. So. Oh right, yeah, it definitely looks smaller, and definitely going from, you know, turnbuckle to turnbuckle and rope to rope. I'm sure the sizes are all different and everything. So, yeah. I agree with Billy. I'm sure it's a lot different. Did you have something else from the board, Inchman?
Yes, a simple man from our message board, one of my favorites. He wants to know if being in the Spirit Squad with your other members, did that make you closer friends in the end?
Definitely, yeah. I'd say so for sure. I mean, I knew Kenny really well. Not really well, but I knew him well. I mean, he was you know, wrestled in OVW prior to the Spirit Squad. Still really good friends with Johnny Jeter to this day. He's a great guy, one of my good buddies, and like I've known him in OVW for a long time, actually, even before I was even signed. I knew him in OVW. Really good guy. I got to know Nick Nemeth real well. Obviously, you know, we're roommates to this day in Tampa, so we remain really good friends. We probably got closer with the Spirit Squad for sure, I'd say. And Mitch, I actually really didn't know at all. I knew of him, but I really didn't know him until the Spirit Squad came about, and you know, got to follow him on the road and stuff like that. So it was cool. So the Spirit Squad brought us closer. Definitely, yeah.
Barbie.
Yeah, yourself and Kenny were generally the main staple of the 2-man tags in the Spirit Squad, but was there one member that you felt you had better chemistry with than the others?
I think I had really good chemistry with all of them, actually. Mitch was actually, we didn't really wrestle that much together. We only had a couple tag matches together, only because he was on the sidelines with an ACL injury for a long time. So, generally with anybody you work with, the more repetitions you get with them in the ring, the better chemistry you have, the more comfortable you start feeling with them and stuff like that. But everything really seemed to flow really well, I thought, from the get-go to the end with everybody. Whether it was me and Kenny or Kenny and Johnny, everybody just seemed to be on the same page. So I thought everybody was really, definitely gelled well together.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys ever come up with anything, or did they ever ask you guys to do something that, never made it to TV for any reason?
Well, definitely. When we first started doing the Spirit Squad on house shows before it was even on television, whenever we saw something, we picked it up, whether it was pom-poms, whether it was an air horn. We brought all that to the table, and they said, yeah, absolutely, do it, and we made our tank tops, our T-shirts that we wore, brought that to the table. Like I said, Dean Malenko came up with the trampoline idea, so we didn't come up with that. Trying to think, our outfits, we came up with that. We actually bought them at a sporting goods store, Dick's Sporting Goods. Trying to think, what else do we have? We bought the megaphone. That was our idea. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Except for those girl cheerleading outfits that we had to wear that one time on Raw. That was their idea. They brought that there. So.
Yeah, I couldn't think of you.
Episode.
Right.
Yeah, you remember that, right?
Oh, yeah. I was hoping that wasn't I just, you guys had them in your closet or...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of feels good that we actually came up with, a lot of the stuff that we, brought to the table, because it just showed them that we were hungry, and it showed them that we really wanted to do this and that we weren't going to go half-assed with the gimmick or the character. And, hey, this is what you want, well, this is what you can get, and we're going to give you our best, so.
Mm-hmm. When it first debuted, I remember the crowd really didn't react well to it, but later on, you guys got a lot of heat. Could you tell it when it's really started to get over with the crowd?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, once, I remember coming out when we made our debut, we did a little interference with Jerry Lawler versus the coach in a Royal Rumble qualifying match. And I remember when our music hit, the first thing, I look at the people, and just was just like a blank expression on their face, they didn't know what to think. They didn't know whether to cheer. They didn't know whether to boo. They were just kind of like, okay, what is going on? Something's going down, but it's not registering what's going down, But, as the weeks went on, the story started to tell itself, what we were, who we were, what we were doing, and, I think it was many weeks before we even got in the ring and wrestled. We just did cheers a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. So I think that gave the opportunity for the people to understand what we were all about. So, eventually, the things started to get into the mix and everything like that, and then, they understood everything a lot better and knew that they weren't going to like us very much.
Yeah. Did Vince ever give you guys, any type of reaction? Did he tell you, backstage what he thought of it?
Oh, Vince thought it was real good, actually. Real good, actually. Because, funny story real quick, we, again, this is before we even debuted, or actually, the week before we debuted, we had a dark match. And we decided to, do something, because we heard, Vince likes guys that have a lot of guts and a lot of, courage and to do stuff, to impress him or whatever like that. So we decided we were going to go into his office. So we snuck into Vince's office. And when he came in, we were just going to bust out a cheer, because apparently we heard that we were going to have a meeting with him about what was going on and going down and everything. So instead of him coming to us, we decided we were going to go to him. And the rib actually ended up on us, because he never showed up, so we were standing in his office for an hour. But long story short, John Laurinaitis took us up to Vince, because they were at a talent meeting apparently, and John said, you only make one time to make a first impression, so we had a game plan. So we went out there and busted in his office, air horns and all, probably blew his ears out, but we did a cheer, and we definitely had I think it was a good impact, I thought, because when we were done with our cheer, he just looked at us and he said, this is going to work, so with a smile on his face. So the next week, we just happened to debut, so it's probably a good thing we did that.
Yeah. So actually, earlier in the chat room, I think it was Buck, it might have been a few other people, they were asking why did you guys have green? Why did you go with the green? Why wasn't like another color?
I don't know. I think we just went to the sporting stores, and we were just looking for jumpsuit outfits, or athletic gear, and the green outfit. I remember we bought a few colors. We bought blue in the same outfit, we bought black in the same outfit, and we bought green. And we wore all three of those outfits at house shows, and we brought all three of those outfits to TV. But Stephanie McMahon was actually the one that said, I like the green. That looks more cheerleaderish, so to speak.
Right.
Like that just fit the role. And that's the one she was a fan of, so we just stuck with green then from that point on.
Well, Barbie, you got a question, man?
Of course. There was one particular episode of Raw where you took over. You were the general managers for the night. Was that something that was enjoyable, particularly?
Oh, absolutely. I never thought in my career I'd be the general manager, at one point. So that was definitely a good moment, in my life. And, it was really cool. I think we had like 6 or 7 segments on that show, so it was definitely a really busy night for us. But I'd do it every night if I could. I mean, it was definitely really cool being the bosses for the night, for sure.
Were you as let down as I was that we never got to see Joey Styles dressed in the outfit?
Well, yeah, right. I wish we could have got him into that. That was pretty funny. I thought that picking on him too, man, because Joey's like the nicest guy too.
I was actually watching some stuff on YouTube earlier from Spirit Squad and OVW that I'd never seen before, and it was a good skit with you and CM Punk. I was just wondering if you're surprised that CM Punk's a world champion now, and if you had any memories working with Punk.
Yeah, we had a lot of great matches with Punk and OVW, and he's a tremendous talent, definitely a good worker. And I wish nothing but the best for Punk. I mean, he's up there, he's doing his thing right now. He's getting over with the crowd. He's in a really good spot, and he's got the ball and he's running with it right now. So just wish all the best luck to him for sure.
Yeah. Also, I saw in there was when you were doing the professional gimmick. And I was wondering, did you enjoy doing something that was like completely different from the Spirit Squad after leaving the Spirit Squad?
Yeah, that's something. When we got done doing the Spirit Squad, a lot of advice I got from people was you need to get away from it and you need to do something totally the opposite of the Spirit Squad. Mm-hmm. So the Spirit Squad was very fun, very goofy, very very it was a character, and so I was like, all right, I think I was talking with Nova or Simon Dean, and he helped me out a lot, and we both came up with the character, the professional Mike Mondo, and it was something just to be very more serious, more stuff that more ground wrestling and just more something the opposite of the Spirit Squad. That was my main goal, just to get away from what I was doing, and I thought it worked for a good time, and I actually still have a video of it on my MySpace page. Mm-hmm. But it was something I felt comfortable doing too. So it was cool though. My main concern was just trying to find myself and reinvent myself. So that's something we came up with and I went with for a little while.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was cool. It was fun.
Any thoughts of using the Mighty Mikey gimmick ever again?
No, I don't think so. Probably not. It's just something I wasn't feeling, just something that wasn't me. That was, that came about when I remember Bruce Pritchard came aside. He was actually coming down. He saw me do a match in SCW practice. And he said that Vince was looking for a character, like a Mighty Mouse character. And I said, okay, I'm a businessman, and, I feel I do what's best for business, and that's what's going to make money for the company, then if I'm the guy to do that, I'll give him my best shot and I'll do it. So, I came up with an outfit, came up with a character, and I did it for a while, but, as the weeks were going by, I haven't heard anything, and it was just kind of feel like I was getting lost in the mix a little bit. So, I talked to Dr. Tom Pritchard, who's, a good friend of mine and everything this day, and I was shooting straight with him, and I was just like, I'm not feeling it. I think I need to do something else and need to be myself more. Cause I even asked him if he heard anything, is anything going on, but he hasn't heard anything at the time. So I probably wouldn't go back to doing that though. No, probably not.
Yeah. Well, let everybody know again, your MySpace, it's myspace.com/Mikey Mondo, and we'll have the link right up on the website. And if anyone out there wants to inquire about booking you on their event, you email MikeyMondoBookings@hotmail.com. We'll have that right on the website, too. Anything like you want to tell everybody out there before I let you go?
No, I just want to just take a moment just to thank the fans and thank you everybody out there for supporting me. And I'm looking forward to getting out there and doing my thing again. Like I said, you can feel free to hit me up anytime, and I'll try to get back with you with the emails as soon as possible. And I'm just definitely looking forward to just do my thing again, and entertaining the fans and doing what I love to do for sure.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming on tonight.
I appreciate you having me, guys. Thank you very much. I had a good time.
Yo, it's your boy JTG, and you listen to In Your Head Radio. Cheers.